Because my last video struck quite a few nerves, we're going to talk a little bit more about flock cameras. Every time a community installs them, social media lights them up with the exact same comments. They're watching us. This is government surveillance. They're tracking everyone. You know what? Let's start by being honest. Yes, they are surveillance cameras. Yes, they photograph vehicles. Yes, there's a good chance that your vehicle and license plate are being recorded when you drive past one. None of that is controversial. The real question is, what happens next? Because a lot of people imagine some government employee sitting in a dark room, staring at their daily commute, tracking where they bought coffee, where they went to church, or where they picked up groceries. The reality is far less exciting. So unless you're connected to a crime, you're usually not the subject of investigation at all. In fact, most of the time, your vehicle isn't helping investigators at all. It's helping investigators rule you out. Think about it. When law enforcement is looking for a suspect's vehicle connected to an abduction, assault, robbery, or other crime, every vehicle that doesn't match helps narrow the search. The overwhelming majority of people that are captured by these cameras are never given a second look because they're not connected to anything. They're just simply part of the process that helps investigators locate the right vehicle. And let's be honest about something else. Many of the same people who panic about a flock camera drive through dozens of cameras every single day. Cameras at intersections, cameras at businesses, cameras at gas stations, cameras at grocery stores, cameras in parking lots, cameras outside banks, cameras outside schools, and in some states, cameras that are catching speeding violations. If you've been outside today, there's a good chance you've been on multiple cameras already today. So let's separate legitimate concerns from paranoia. A legitimate concern is how long is the data stored? Who can access it? What oversights exist? How is abuse prevented? Those are all reasonable questions. Those are questions free citizens should be asking. But there's another level where the conversation goes completely off rails. That's when people start acting like the government has assembled a task force dedicated simply to monitor your trip to Walmart. I'm not trying to be rude here, but most of us, we're not that interesting. The government doesn't wake up every morning wondering what sandwich you had. Law enforcement agencies, they're just generally trying to solve crimes, locate suspects, recover stolen property, and find missing people. And speaking of missing people, that's where this conversation is getting real. Since partnering with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Flock Technology has helped law enforcement recover more than 100 missing or abducted children. That's over 100 children who got another chance to go home. That's over 100 families who got the call they had been praying for. Over 100 situations where investigators had another tool available when every minute mattered. Because when a child is abducted, time isn't just important, time is everything. The faster an investigator can identify a vehicle, the faster they can act. And the faster that they can act, the more likely that child is going to be able to come home. So yes, let's talk about privacy. Let's talk about transparency. Let's talk about accountability. We should, but let's also talk about reality. And the reality is that most people captured by these cameras are not being investigated. They're being ruled out. They're just simply passing through a public place in front of a camera, just like they already were in front of countless other cameras. And if you're worried about being seen in public, I understand that concern. But if you're worried about somebody sitting around obsessing over your daily routine, you might be giving yourself a starring role in a movie that nobody is actually making. The truth is simple. If you're not breaking the law, you're probably not the focus of anybody's attention. But if a child goes missing, a violent criminal is on the run, or a family is desperately hoping for answers, suddenly these cameras become a lot more valuable. So yes, they are surveillance cameras. No, that's not a secret. The question is whether we're willing to acknowledge both sides of this conversation. Because for more than 100 families, the same technology that people call intrusive helped bring a child home. And if that child was yours, I suspect that your opinion of those cameras would change very quickly. I love you all. I hope you all have a safe, blessed, and wonderful day. And remember, Jesus loves you.